engineering, and by profession, I'm a surveyor or if you like a geomatics expert. But I've been doing a lot in terms of youth mentorship. And youth in Kenya we define as 18 to 35, I believe. In some countries, it is like Finland, it is up to 24 only. But here we are lucky, up to 35. So I can guess 50% of us here still in the youth bracket. So you can see some Twitter handles there. The first handle there is what I use for my youth mentorship platform. So if you have young people in secondary school or in college, you can refer them to that impact Forum digital. We'll share this presentation later so that you can also go through it. And it does great things for young people, especially on skills development and career development. I also read the flyer and I saw that it is making emphasis on navigating post-pandemic guidance and counseling in schools. And this is also fitting to me because during the COVID era when schools were closed, colleges were closed, I was active in modeling COVID scenarios in Kenya, Africa, and the rest of the world. I was also given a chance on Citizen TV just to tell the nation what I'm doing about that. And that ended up with a book that is co-authored by African authors in Africa and in the diaspora. And it is good news that the book is distributed for free because it was sponsored by German taxpayers' funds. So after this, I'll also leave a copy, and a digital copy that you can read, a 250-page book, and it has several sections dealing with mentorship, dealing with geopolitics, dealing with health and safety and disaster governance. So Taita Taveta University, you are already familiar with it. This is where we are. And I told you I'm a surveyor, so I'm very keen on mapping. That is why I have to show you the map of Taita Taveta County. This is the county. It is one of the largest in terms of area. About 72,000 square kilometers. And Taita Taveta University is in this bin, not far from Watate, and 8 kilometers from Voi town. Then the progressive career development agenda. So that is what you can call the content slide, and also good for you so that when you are making a presentation next time, you can use this as a template. You know, people interact better with what they see. So if your visual sharing skills are great, you can convince the president to give you a hearing. If he was to listen to you for 5 minutes, you would say increase it to 15 minutes because I like what I see. So this summarizing the 6 areas that we are going to talk about. So one is the background, where we are saying ready-made success is a mirage. Talk to any author, it took him many years, or it took her many years to come up with a book. So many people just celebrate the success, but they don't know what goes into it. Talk to a great teacher, you'll find there's like 2 decades behind that successful career. So when we are talking of career development, it is not a one-off thing. And nowadays, we say there's nothing like job security or employment security. What we have is career security. So how can you update your skills to remain relevant? That is the game of the moment. And if you can develop your skills and career to be adaptive to the changing needs of the time, then you can remain relevant. And that is what makes for what we call career security. And number 3 is very interesting, especially to the youth when I mentor them. Letter writing, email etiquette, and CV. Most of them cannot be employed because they can't even write a letter. Yes, they have first-class honors from the university, but they can't write a letter. Ask them what salutation is, they don't know. So they just write you a letter or email. Is their job in your company? There's no dear sir, dear madam. Then you go to CVs. You find people still using Times New Roman, which is very old, the typewriter era. And these progressive companies like Google, Microsoft, when they see you are still using those old fonts, they just know you're not progressive enough. So These are some of the tips in the presentation that will be shared. And when you are writing your CV, what should you emphasize, which we summarize as wins? What you did, how you did it, what you achieved, how you achieved it, the impact it created, and the measure for success. And even passport, your passport to the world, scholarships, a great opportunity to travel the world. And a good number of you here are still candidates for scholarship, maybe for masters or PhD, and you are at a university which we call the home of ideas, and you have very many scholarship opportunities. So let's go back in time, and you must have heard about Aristotle, a great philosopher, Greek philosopher, and this is what he said. For the things we have to learn before we can do them, we learn by doing them. So don't wait. I can't do this. Learn by doing it. So the things you can't do until you learn how to do them, just start doing them. Then you learn in the process. For example, I told you my training background is in engineering, but I'm more comfortable in mentorship speaking, public speaking, because I have to learn doing it. Of course, you'll be laughed at when you are in secondary school. That's why I challenge young people, when you are in secondary school, take up responsibility. I think the lowest could be class monitor. Do you still have class monitors nowadays? Yes. Yeah, I even challenge my children. Don't just go to school and pass through school. No, take up responsibility. It will help you in future. I remember when I was appointed in Form 3 as laboratory prefect, when I was on duty, I felt like my knees were melting. Because you have to talk before the people. And then the principal corrects you when you say something that those who did their work properly, go back and do them. Who are they? Tell them. That they don't know. So you develop your leadership skills and you develop your career and networking vibe. So if you are an introvert, try just open up and speak, because networking will require you to go out and speak to other people. When you are on the train, it doesn't harm just meeting your neighbor. Maybe this is your next source of a very big consultancy job. So that is also a trick, the art of networking. And we shall see that one later. So some preliminaries. Again, the power of imagery. We are in Taita, the Savo. With your smartphone, do you even care to take photographs? Because maybe it's just one chance to be here. It may take another 10 years to come back here. So if you make use of your smartphone to take photos as memory, that can impact somewhere. I took this one when we were in the Savo, and you see it is now helping me to connect with you. Who has never come to Tabeta before, and this is the first time. Yeah, you see now I can connect with you very easily and tell you the giraffe is well known for good eyesight. And people say as tall as a giraffe. What they don't know is that the leg section is taller than the neck. So that neck is resting on a very tall leg section. So sometimes we see people successful, we think they are just islands, but they are resting on a big foundation, a very strong foundation. There's no one who is an island. You cannot succeed as an individual independently. No, there's no independence. There's only interdependence. And that is also a strong debate in the World Economic Forum. We talk of interdependence. So the giraffe is tall because these legs help to raise the neck. The neck is also tall, but not as tall as the section from here to here. You can measure yourself. And that is why when it is squatting to drink water, it can't do it. The neck cannot go down. It has to squat because of the legs. And that puts it in a very precarious position. It can be attacked by the lions. And that is why God has made it in such a way that it can even make do with 30 minutes of sleep in a day on average because of the predator. So it has to adapt. So those are just some sessions on youth mentorship. And then when you go anywhere to make a presentation, there's a lot to do with building confidence in the people you are talking to. If you are a teacher of English, for example, or chemistry, for example, ensure that you instill confidence in the learners. So give them just some background why you are qualified to teach them. So you may be asking, why is this person qualified to talk before us? So you can look at my mentorship footprint. From 2019 to date, Youth Talent and Career Fair series have been holding them. I started by holding physical ones monthly. Then when COVID came, we turned to virtual. And I've been a mentor under Kenya's Presidential Digital Talent Program. That was during the Jubilee government, where you are given 2 or 3 graduates to mentor. And there's a graduation for them after 1 year. Then 2006 to 2019, I was very active in terms of school outreach. So I was going to secondary schools, including my former school. For those who know where Homa Bay County is, my former secondary school is called Mirobi Boys Secondary School. Not well known. Yeah, they were. That is where I came from. And it is only well known in terms of revolution, because the Leto Chuka came from there. And you remember what he did, what he tried to do in 1982. So, thought leadership, there's this weekly newsletter called the African Executive, and I urge you to go and look for it. It's online. That is where leaders, presidents, head of World Bank, head of World Economic Forum, they write there, their column is there, Monster column is there. Then Elsevier, you know about it, Research Academy, policy think tank, I've worked at KEPRA before. And then RCMRD in Kasarani, the Regional Center for Mapping of Resources for Development. Every year I'm a speaker and presenter. And then this one just gives you my networking footprint in terms of geography. So you can see Germany, Ghana, Accra, Austria, USA, Fiji. I'm just about to go to Asia. That is the only place I will not go to. China is a good target. So I told you about the book. You can see it. It is on the future of Africa in the post-COVID-19 world. It is a peer-reviewed book, and I co-edited it with Josephat Juma, who is the editor of that Thought Leaders newsletter I was talking to you about. So don't worry, because you get this one in soft copy. And when you get the presentation, you can still download it from this link. So let's proceed. I told you must take photos. So this is Fiji, University of Suva in Fiji. Okay? And we have a very good ICT center, just like the airport has ICAD. And I was impressed when I went to Fiji, that university, that the president, they call the president, not vice chancellor, the president of the university told me he's a Kenyan, and he even spoke Swahili. Then I told him, how come you are Kenyan? He told me he was born in Kenya. Indian born in Kenya after secondary school, he studied in Kenya, so he cannot link himself for that extraction. He is part of us. And so you can see our network we have. That is in Germany. This in Finland. Nowadays we are talking of green building, net zero emission. You see, they are doing it in Finland. This is a public library that doesn't use electricity. It is green. Solar panels, solar lighting, recycling water, recycling waste. And here, where you are at Taveta University, has been a center for training, GS training at master's level, in collaboration with the University of Helsinki, and we have been getting funding from Finland, the government of Finland. So we have a very good working relationship with them, and that is part of networking. Are you impressed by that photo? Yes. They say a photo is what? But what they don't tell you is that a map is worth 1,000 pictures or 1,000 photos. So it is very good to do mapping. So you can encourage your children and cousins to take up professions in mapping and space technology. What have we been struggling with and postponing now for 3 days in Kenya? Yeah, satellite. That is part of space technology, and people are talking of space weather. The space weather is very bad. We can't launch it. Today I thought it was being launched to be watched, but after a few minutes it was stopped because of space weather. And here where you are at Taveta University is where we have the chair of operational space weather. We got funding from the Kenya Space Agency to develop a curriculum on space weather monitoring. So we are stakeholders and keen in that respect. But here is Hong Kong. I took that photo just using a smartphone, not any special camera. But you can see, or it can be like this. If you have a vision in the next 10 years, this could be very rivers if we clean it up and we preserve the landscapes. And the key message we are passing on there is that we need to have environmental consciousness and responsibility. Greenness calls for responsibility in governance and applying technology. Now, this is the Animal Crossing in the Netherlands. And what are they doing there? You know, ours, we have left the Animal Crossing over, the SGR line. We have not even planted trees. But these people study and know that when it is green, it is more friendly to the animals and they can cross over without being too nostalgic about the former landscape, how it was. So you try to restore it to how it was before. And that is why we need mapping technologies and studies in the same. So that is also part of networking, international exposure, so that even as you speak, you can tell people what you have seen with evidence. Those are student hostels, not for working class people, but students interested in university. It is our partner. We have a project here called SEMEREM, and this SEMEREM conference room. So this is a program that has been sponsoring studies and student and staff exchange in Germany since the year 2016. So as we proceed, who can guess? Where is that?
Germany.
Yeah, Berlin, you must have heard of the Holocaust. And if you go to Berlin, you will see the memorial of the mass graves of the 6 million Jews that were butchered during Adolf Hitler's rule. Okay? So when you are there, you also take pictures. This is not a box, it is a real building. So architectural impression and visual impact. And those are some of the things you can use as a teacher to motivate your students so that they can study architecture, quantity surveying, and when they relate to it, it is worth more than 1,000 words that you can tell them. This is somewhere called Slovakia, which was with the Czech Republic before, and you can see some memories when they had those big kingdoms. That is where the king used to stay. And even when you tell people about winter, have you experienced it? That is why we are saying for complete exposure, for complete networking, we need 4 E's. The first E is obvious, we get it. By default, it is formal education. But you need other E's. Who can guess the other E's? We have the E of exposure. You have not been exposed to data. If you have not come here before, you can speak about it experientially and more convincingly. Another E is experience. Yeah, you have to experience. Then the E of empathy or emotional intelligence. You know, there are some jokes we share in Kenya which to Europeans are not jokes at all. So, your exposure and emotional intelligence will help you to share jokes that are palatable by geography. So when you go to China, you know the kind of jokes they can enjoy. When you come to Kenya, there are jokes you enjoy, but you tell a German that joke, they wonder what is wrong with you. And this is in Germany, seniors home. We have been talking about child care, but nowadays we need to talk of elder care because of increasing life expectancy. So as a teacher, again, you don't just need to talk of child care all the time. You also need to talk of elder care. Life expectancy is increasing, so this growing proportion of old people, are we caring for them? So in Germany, they are caring for them in such seniors' home. You see the way it does wood plantation, tree plantation, flowers, so that they can share all the stories there, and their children can go and see them there. And you see the gate. What do you see? Hakuna mbwa kali, hakuna those broken bottles, broken because of security in the country. So can we aspire to that? That is now the USA. So during COVID, we are also talking about post-COVID era. Now, what can you see from this diagrammatic representation? I told you during COVID, I was mentoring youth, taking the COVID data globally and mapping them out. So if you are to communicate to a policymaker, in fact, we also work together with Jumuiya ya counties of Pwani, the 6 counties in the coastal region, to show them the future COVID scenarios and the adaptation measures that were necessary. And look at this. So when together with my students, we plotted this in Excel, it is like a web. And the sad story is that in Africa, the web is narrower towards the center. Look, Europe, the United States, and even Brazil, that is South America, it is wider. So what are we communicating there? Is that their testing rates were higher than ours because they have better capacity for testing and they are even more serious with testing. Look at Kenya, where are we? Okay, you are here, almost the same testing rate as Uganda, but look at Rwanda. People have been saying Rwanda is a key example in East Africa. You can see even when it comes to testing, they were using technology and they were recording higher. So Rwanda only comparable to Mauritius and South Africa, but they are just here in East Africa with us. So we are challenging people to network effectively and to develop your skills. You must be a lover of technology. Don't be technophobic. Don't fear technology. And you can use technology like the Excel you have on your computers effectively to share such information. Earlier in the day when I was doing mentorship, this is the year 2014, I was curious enough to ask myself in Kenya, what is the weakness? Because people are talking about CBC all the time. So I conducted an interview with all of Africa and some in Europe, some respondents from Europe, and this is what this map is displaying. What this map is displaying is when you ask people which skills are important for innovation, and then in primary and secondary school, which we call basic training level, where are we placing more emphasis? So the big balls are the most important when it comes to being innovative, developing innovative capacity. Now, look at the big balls and the way they are suffering injustice. Scientific inquiry skills, system thinking, talent management, spatial intelligence, that is seeing in space in 3D, for example, mapping. These are the big balls, but when they rated them, for example, they say on average, this one, on a scale of 0 to 100, in terms of importance, is at 94% level. So it is in the 94th percentile, very important. But look at the emphasis on basic education level. Is it below 30%? But what we are emphasizing more are the small balls, numeracy and literacy skills, basic ones. So in Africa, Kenya, East Africa, literacy above 80%, numeracy above 70%. But in terms of impact, global impact on innovation, so basic, not even reaching, this is 10, this is 70, yeah, not even reaching 75%. Then communication skills, some people say it is not important. Depending on I'm an engineer, I'm a scientist, I don't want to communicate. But that's where you fail and sociologists become your managers. Learn to communicate. So you see communication skills globally. They are saying it is important when it comes to innovation because you have to work with people to innovate. It is teamwork. So the importance level on that scale is 86%. Very important. But emphasis below 50%, 45%. So even at school, maybe you are a physics and math teacher. We used to say during our days, maybe it has changed, but physics and math teachers are the worst communicators. Has it changed? It has changed. That is good. I think that's why most of them are here. So, we are also asking key factors that is now in Kenya, why the youth choose some courses to do at university. So you can see cost, employability, and the role of mentors. That is why mentorship is important. Why did I study survey, for example? I had someone I was admiring, and he was working in the construction industry. And then during that time, the first time road was passing through day one, where I come from, Mama Bay. So I saw those people using those telescopic instruments, theodolite, and I said, now this is the right course to do. So exposure, the role of mentors, and then you'll be surprised when it comes to later study where you realize that people blame teachers, that they are the ones directing our students to do this and this. But the survey, that is as late as the year 2021, reveals that parents have a greater role. That is what most people are responding and saying that parents have a much greater role in shaping what their children will do in future. Teachers and mentors came a distant third and fourth. So again, I told you take photos. This is passing over Egypt, and then if you are passing over London, is there a big difference? That is passing over London. This is passing over Egypt, the night sky, using a plane. What difference can you see? And for physics teachers here, we say that a plane has 7 degrees of freedom, but a bicycle only has, is it 1 or 2? Only 2. You can only go this but a plane, 7 degrees of freedom. So you can also excite your neighbor on the train that I came here, but I use 7 degrees of freedom from Nairobi. And you never know, it can spark a discussion. That is part of networking. Yeah, so what do you, I'm just waiting for you to tell me what you see. What are the similarities and differences between the European sky at night and the African sky? This is Cairo, Egypt. Are there similarities? Are there differences? Maybe you can tell me if you see any similarity. I think both are facing congestion problem because of urbanization. So we share challenges globally. We are interconnected. But at least if you look at the one in Europe, it is brighter. You see some spots which are more white. It means they are using more of energy saving bulbs or renewable energy. And if you look at this, what I want to say here is that in Africa, we are still a very young continent. Look at the median age in Africa, 19.4. Even Kenya, it is still 19. But look at a country like Japan, 47. So we still have a lot to do. So our mentorship must be directed towards the youth. So that is population of the people living in middle class households. It is increasing globally. So even as you plan for the future, you must know that we are facing a future of middle class. And then what could be of importance to you? When I hear people talking about affirmative action and they are saying we are empowering the girl child too much, I wonder where they are getting their data from. Because look at the global percentage, global workforce made up by women, that just 39% by the year 2018, and it has not changed much. And when you talk of automation, artificial intelligence, women are the greater casualty globally. 11% of them will easily be displaced by automation in the routine tasks they do, as opposed to 9% for men. And you may say it is only a difference of 2%. But the real question is 2% of what? What is the global population? How many people are we in the world today? Approximately 8 billion. 8 billion. So if you say men are even slightly less than half of that, maybe 3.9 billion, and then you go to the working age, you end up with about 1 billion. 2% of 1 billion is a very large number. So even look at ICT, proportion of female ICTs in 2015. And authors of open source who are female, and open source is gaining traction nowadays. So you see, we still have a strong case to ensure that we can attain some level of equality, and that is why we still need policies that are gender sensitive. Look at this. This is now 2023. You may say, oh, that was 2018. What was 2023? Look at Europe. Tech roles in European companies held by women, only 22%. And I know Europe is a very big continent, but look at how badly they are performing. So we have shared challenges. And 4 million women who need to take up tech roles in Europe by 2027 to close the tech talent gap. And Finland is unique. We know that Finland is rated or ranked as one of the countries with the best education system. Is it true? And you see in Finland and this Scandinavian country, Sweden, even in these small European countries, girls are outperforming boys in STEM. So this 4 year is for the number of countries here. And 18% drop off in girls transitioning from STEM disciplines to STEM disciplines from secondary to university education in Europe. 7 Europe. This is a double-digit figure. So that is why, as we do mentorship, we have to concentrate on all those 4 R's: reframe, retain, deploy, and ramp up. And you'll be able to read more from that institution. So as we go towards the end, we are in an era we call the skills revolution era. It is no longer about just acquiring skills for the sake, but it is a continuous game, continuous professional development, or what we call CPD. So we are talking of lifelong learning. So look at this, for example, this also summarizing, and you'll agree with me as teachers that in primary school, going to secondary school, what you emphasize more routinely are this reading, writing, a bit of languages and numeracy. But when these people enter the marketplace, they realize that the skills that have higher impact are teamwork skills, leadership, integrity, fundraising skills, but they were never taught any of these at the basic school level. So if you are talking about CBC, if it can change, if it can be a game changer, then these high impact areas must be brought earlier so that we can train them so that it doesn't become like a cliff edge experience, like you are thrown off Mount Kenya, go to the workplace unprepared. And this statistics also telling us that in future, those who are in primary school, 65% of them will be engaged in jobs that have not been defined yet. So if the jobs for them are not yet there, we come back to Aristotle that for the things we can't learn until we do them, we have to learn by doing them. So CBC should train these people to be adaptive, to be risk takers, to be adventurous, because the world is not waiting for you to be ready. So during COVID and post-COVID, that is just giving you some of the technologies that have been used in China, in France. France, I know, is our country for a lot of romance. They even have the people they call robotic pole dancers. And so technology will make life more and more interesting. And maybe you heard about ChatGPT recently, I know. So nowadays, it can write a better composition than you. Just give it a topic and it can write a very good composition. So even here at university, what we are doing is that for takeaway cards, nowadays we prefer than making them oral. Just have an oral exam and don't ask the same question. So the student doesn't know what to ask next. Another way of grading fairness. Because you give them takeaway, this ChatGPT can write and even summarize in a table very well. A very, what he say. When a lawyer asks you to write a statement that they can use to defend you nowadays, you can use ChatGPT, just narrate the story how it happened and then tell it, make it more convincing before court. And it will make it in a very legal language, convincing language, so you can see where technology is taking us. And we have talked of satellite images, machine vision for quality control, and so we have to let these young people know that the world is changing and they have to change with it. Those are some of the key areas artificial intelligence is revolutionizing. And look at human to machine matching. We are telling mining engineers here, and we are telling them your work in the future will include human to machine matching. What does it mean? If at the US Cement used to have 4 engineers for one machine and maybe 12 technicians for that one machine, then in future if we automate, tell us to optimize, and mathematicians who are here, linear programming, how can we optimize that? We need one engineer only now. For example, in a country like Germany, I didn't see this many watchmen walking around. There's only one person who is enlightened in the office, and the rest is done by robotic cameras. And they can sense that someone is walking around and it turns to take the photo for central processing. So you imagine how many watchmen have been eliminated by that kind of technology revolution. So these are things that we have to learn to adapt to. 7, our future watchmen will need to have some level of technology awareness. I know of organizations in Kenya, you are not allowed to be a driver alone. If you are a driver, you must have computer skills and 11 photocopying skills. You know, there are these big photocopies that can confuse you. You are a physics teacher, but if you are given that machine, you have to call someone that do the photocopy. So these drivers have to know how to photocopy because they can save time. When they are not driving, what are they doing? They can help with photocopying, they can help with typing something, so that we can optimize on their being there as employees. 5G, we are talking about 5G, so you have to know. Part of being an effective mentor is to flow with the current of the time. So don't let people talk of 5G, but you are a teacher and you don't know what 5G is all about. For example, if you are in Nairobi, where can you find 5G? I think in Kisumu is one of the testing areas for 5G. Okay? In Nairobi around Kilimani, you can get it, and the speed is just phenomenal. It has defeated 4G by far. Where 4G can connect 100,000, 5G is talking of millions. So you can see that difference and what it will revolutionize. And I also want to emphasize this one. Look at this one we call augmented reality. It is augmented reality is doing something great and changing what we call window shopping as we know it. This one, augmented reality. So instead of going to the shop to fit your suit, I think your suit is size 52. Yeah, around there. Instead of going to fit it, you can use technology. You see it in the shop, and then it can match your body very well. And once in that augmented reality environment, you fit it on your body. You can now order it. You can also do the same for shoes. It is a virtual shoe, but you can superimpose it onto your feet, and you can see it is fitting. Then you order it online. Look at that, augmented reality. So that's where we are going. No window shopping. Really, people to be window shoppers. Again, you need to change. In a country such as Estonia, which is a highly automated country, a small country in Europe, pizzas are delivered using robots. So you hear someone knocking on the door, but it is just a robot. And this robot has to use big data to know what temperature the client wants this pizza to reach her at this temperature. So the temperature must be controlled so that if there is any heat on the road, it can keep raising the temperature so that it can keep it to the level that the client wants. And that is what we call big data, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, all that. And that is where we are talking of the era of the fourth industrial revolution. So again, as we talk of Education 4.0, now we are talking of Education 4.0 because we used to have Education version 1.0. In that era, teachers were kids. The instruction was from teacher to student. You don't ask a teacher a question. And if it is a question, it has to be a very humble question. So it was unidirectional. Then we moved from there to Education version 2, which we used to call progressivism. At least we are allowing some technology in education and some feedback. Then constructivism. And nowadays we are talking of Education 4.0, where technology, especially due to COVID, has now disrupted the environment, and we are accepting virtual learning, for example. Then we are even moving on to Education 5.0, which is learner-centered and flexible. So as a teacher, you can upgrade your skills in a virtual environment because technology is disrupting that environment. And when it comes to innovation, we have to know all the types of innovation that we need. Most of the time, we are just talking of product innovation, but no one is talking of business model innovation or organizational innovation. As a principal, can you dare to have some organizational innovation in your schools? That will be an innovation. How you can shorten the bureaucracy, the reporting system, and it becomes more efficient. That is an aspect of innovation. So we have all those 9 types of innovation. Don't just talk about product innovation. So I told you about a recent study of 2021, and it was Kenya-wide. We interviewed 437 respondents, and we also had to ensure some gender parity. You see, male 50%, female 50%. And look at this, maybe as teachers may let me know if that is true. When it comes to digital literacy, we discovered that the youth are saying they are digitally fluent, but they are not. They are just using those technologies, smartphones for entertainment. But when you give them a job to do that requires applying technology, most of them are very low, including graduates. university graduates. So we need to do more in terms of mentoring them to use technology responsibly. So it is about technological responsibility. From this, the average score in Kenya was just 16%, on a scale of 0 to 100. 16% score. That is, in school, where would you grade that one if a student gets 16%? And E. And the highest score about 82%, that was just one person. And that is an outlier. You can't make policies with one person in mind. And look at that, you are asking them, they were the demographic you can see we concentrated on the youth bracket and the highest level of education there. What I want to show is that when did they identify their gifts? And you see, before joining college, very small percentage identify their gifts. And then secondary school is where most of them have been identifying their gifts, over 30%. So if you are a teacher in secondary school, it means you have a big burden according to the current education system of ensuring that these young people can identify their gifts and talents. But you're saying you should ensure there's an earlier stage for that talent identification. And this is why I was saying we should not blame teachers. You see, parents have a very big role in guiding them in terms of career. So what does it mean for your PTA? That you need to talk to parents and enlighten the parents on career development and not to force their dreams that they missed on their children, that you must be this and that. So, did your educational training bring out the best in you in terms of your talents? And you can see it is a very poor show, only 30% were certain on proper talent development through education. So, we need to match talents in our training to be responsive to the talents. So, at what stage did that happen? You can see again, most of them at tertiary level, but that is already too late. If you consider the skills you get at school relevant to the current skills demand in the job market, and again, retraining. Most of the graduates, college graduates require training. And then when we ask them, why do you think we have high youth unemployment in Kenya? And you see, they also know drug abuse is the bigger the one, it means the more frequent the respondents spoke about it. So there's drug abuse, there's corruption. I don't know if there's drug abuse as a problem in your skills. Yeah, then careers, why we need career development, transferable skills are needed for the market. You must be ready to anticipate what the future will demand. And we are talking of career security. So, because you will be able to get this, you'll be able to challenge yourself in which areas can you now be more active when you are mentoring, when you are developing your career, when you are networking. Look at the SDGs and the challenges you are facing in the world, and they speak to your resolve. So, because of time, I'll not go through the whole of this, but I'll just conclude with this one. That is a familiar place in Nairobi. Maybe you've seen those buildings. So we are talking of mentorship, networking must also be informed by generational gaps. We live in different generations and that shapes the way we think, the way we interact. So if this one I took all the way from the people who were born in 1925, like the late Moi and John. They were born during the World War. They were called the silent generation, very disciplined and alcoholics. Then the baby boomers, those were born from 46 to 64. And this was the era of post-war optimism and the space age. And many leaders in the world were born in this period. Then we have Generation X, then millennials, and now we have Generation Z, the ones who are in university now, and then the ones who are coming later. The era of artificial intelligence are called Generation Alpha. Now, all these people behave differently, like these millennials, short attention span, they need inside their education. So when you mentor them, you must know the kind of generation they are living in and why they behave like that. Generation Z are a bit better in terms of sharing. They are more social in terms of sharing. not given into extravagance. So this picture again is summarizing the kind of wisdom you need in order to recalibrate your mentorship and your networking in order to be more impactful. So as I conclude, the challenge is that whether you are a mentor or a counselor, and whether you are going for lifelong skills development or networking, you must be aware of your environment and you must embrace the 4 E's: lifelong education, exposure, experience, and emotional intelligence. For the things you can't do until we learn doing them, you have to learn by doing them. Thank you.